I don't care where everybody else is. Let's go. All right. Again, with some of you guys coming in the door now, look, you're going to come in better than 17. All right. You know what I'm expecting. All right. We're working, not messing around. Get ready. I don't have much time to try to teach you. I have a test on Wednesday. I don't want any whining about your grade. All right. Let's go. Right now, I'm starting. All right. I think we ended up on 21. So here we go. We're on question number 22. We have a lot to do. Which point is coplanar with points A and C? What are we thinking?
B.
What?
B.
B. What else? Now, look, in many respects here, I want you to try to listen to me. All right? So, A and B. Now, I want to take a quick look at this. All right? A. I don't know why A is even there. All right? So that doesn't make sense. Now, I highlighted the wrong point. So there's A and C. All right? So now I'm looking at point B. All right? If I'm looking at point B, do A, B, and C, thank you for helping. Go ahead, I don't care. If A, B, and C, does that form a plane? No, I don't think.
No.
I don't think A, B, C form a plane. A, B, and C are on the same what?
Line.
It does not define a plane. 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. So it couldn't have been what? The answer couldn't have been C. I'm sorry, it couldn't have been B. All right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out, well, C doesn't make sense either, does it? So why is it D? Because to me it looks like those points are not coplanar, but in fact what? They are. All right? 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. 3 non-collinear points determine a plane. A, B, and C are non-collinear. That just means they are not on the same what? Line. If 3 points are not on the same line, they form a plane. What?
If like instead of D, if it was E, would that also be?
E is also an answer. Yep, E is also an answer.
M is just the name.
That is exactly right. Capital italicized is what they call planes. All right? Generally, when they talk about a plane, they'll list 3 non-collinear points, though. Okay? Name the point of intersection between plane M and line DE. That would obviously be what?
B.
B. Good enough. Are you good, Patrick?
No, it's still
All right. Which undefined term is best modeled by the wall in front of you? That would obviously be a what? Plane. All right. Again, the 3 undefined terms are point, line, and plane. Point, line, and plane. All right. So NL is obviously what, guys? 3.7. So again, just to make sure you're hearing me, I want someone segment addition postulate using these letters. Somebody do the segment addition postulate. Come on, girls. Somebody be brave. Charlotte.
MN plus NL equals ML.
Thank you very much. That is exactly correct. It's a postulate because we just have to accept it as true. There's no way to prove it. All right? Everybody good with that? All right, number 26. It says ray NP is an angle bisector. What does angle bisector mean?
Like it's a line that cuts in half.
Cuts it in half. That's exactly right. When you bisect something, you cut it in half or into 2 equal parts. So let's do MNV. So let's just draw MNV and then ray NP. Bisects it. So here we have angle PN. Is that a Q, really? Is that
Yeah, P and Q.
so? I'm assuming that's a typo, right? So I'm thinking
I think
V is Q. Yeah, let's do that. Let's erase that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't do a very good job checking that. So let's see if that works. MNQ. Let's see if that fixed the problem. MNQ. All right. So if PNQ is 2x plus 1, what would MNQ be? Now that does make sense.
4x plus 2.
Yeah, 4x plus 2. All right, so we okay with that? All right. Because this over here would be what? 2x plus 1?
Yeah.
Right. Because it bisects.
Yeah, bisects.
All right. So then that would be 4x plus 2. Any questions with that?
So with like all bisectors, it's the same on both sides?
Yeah, if I said segment bisect, just cuts the segment in half. Angle bisect or angle bisector cuts it in half. That's all it means. All right. Here we go. Find the distance from R to S. All right, here we go. From here to here. All right, who remembers the distance formula?
Oh.
Do you remember?
I wrote it down.
What is it?
The distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared
I'm listening.
plus y2 minus y1 squared.
And then?
And that's the distance formula.
Oh, then you take the square root of it, right?
Yeah, then you take the square root.
All right. Now, I want everybody to look up because I meant to do this last week and I didn't. All right. I want to try to show you how they figured out the distance formula. All right. So everybody look up. I'm going to do it with RS. All right. I'm just going to call this point right here x1, comma y1. And what do you think I'm going to call S?
X2 comma
Right. So this is going to be x2, comma y2. All right, so look how easy it is to come up with the distance formula. All right, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to draw this from here to here. Now, why was that important? Because what does that make? It makes a right triangle. That's it. All right, it makes a right triangle. So this right here, sorry guys. All right, so this right there is A, this is B, and this is C. Did everybody know that? And so because it's a right triangle, I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to write A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now what I want to do before this, so it makes better sense, guys, is what I want to do is, just do me a favor, switch this to A, and you'll see why in a minute. Does it really matter? It doesn't really matter, but just switch it will make it easier. Now, what I want somebody to do is numerically tell me what this distance is from here to here. What's that numerically? How much is it? 7 or 6? I'm not sure. Which one?
6.
I think it's 6. Now, the biggest mistake most people make is they start with 1. They just go 1, 2, 3. It's not what we're doing. All right, remember, guys, pettiness, put it aside. Try to focus. I don't care if there's a mistake on 6 or 7. It doesn't matter to me. All right, think about the problem. That's what you're doing. So this length A was how much? Was 6. What's B? 1. So you should be able to look at that and just say the answer is obviously the square root of 37, right? Everybody good with that? The square root of 37? Right? Now, we're going to figure out how I got to 37. Now, how did I get to 37 using, or how did I figure out that A was 6. What did I do with those two x values?
6.
What did I do? How did I get 6 is my question. Now keep in mind, 1 point is -2, 2, and the other point is, what is that, 4, 1? So how did I get 6?
4 minus negative.
That's exactly right. We did 4 minus -2. All right? So how did I do 4 minus -2? Keep in mind, this is x2 and this is x1. So what did I do to the two x values to find the distance? You just subtracted them. All right? That's how I did this. That's where I got the x2 minus x1. Everybody with me? And then how do you think I got 1 here? How did we get this 1? What did I do? Probably subtract the y values, which is what? y2 minus y1. Everybody agree with that? So if you wanted to tell me what A is, you would tell me that A is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared is equal to c squared. But what really is c? C is the distance between the 2 points, correct? So we could change c squared to what? The distance squared. And if I just want to solve for distance, I would do what to both sides? Take the square root. Thank you. I would take the square root of both sides. That's how they came up with the distance formula. Everybody see how easy that is, actually? All right. It's derived from a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So now, the distance between R and S is what? What did we say it was, literally?
Radical 37.
Radical 37. Does anybody have any questions with that being radical 37? Good.
So, like, so you just counted from, like, where B was, you just counted from.
Look, let's not make it hard. Look. Do you agree that it's a right triangle?
Yes.
All right, so all I did, I'm going to try to make this look. All I did was I made this a right triangle. That's it. And I said, what's this length from here to here? That's 6.
Okay.
This length from here to here is what? 1. 6 squared plus 1 squared is 37. Square root of 37. Simple. Simple. I don't really ever use the formula. I always just make a right triangle. That's all I do. All right? Or I understand I'm just subtracting the x's and subtracting the y's to get that distance. You understand me, right? All right, let's go on. Midpoint of TU. Now remember, what did I tell you about midpoint? Midpoint means the middle, correct? How do we find the middle? You just take the what? What do we do? What is it called, though? If I want to get to the middle, it's called the average, right? Just taking the average. That's how I want you to remember. Midpoint is the average. Midpoint is the average. All right? So in this case, point T is what? -1, was that -4? And U is what? 2, 2? So the midpoint would be 1/2, comma, -1. Anybody have any issue with that? Again, that's just good mental math, right? Just adding the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2. Any issues? All right, now this is the one I think that's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to erase this up here now. And it says, find the coordinates of M given U as the midpoint of MS. So I'm going to blow up on this right here. This right here, U is the midpoint. Do you agree with that? That's not hard, right? I got to find M, right? So how far did I go to the left?
2.
So I have to go another what?
2.
2. Then how much did I go up? I went up 1, right? So I should probably go what? up another 1, right? From this point right here. So to me, that's just so easy, and I never understood why kids have trouble with that. Everybody see what I did? So now we have to figure out what this point is right here. What's that point?
0, 3.
Yeah, M, we would say, is 0, 3. All right, now let me draw it up here so we can look at it one more time just to make sure. All right, because again, a lot of people have trouble with this, and I just want to make sure you're seeing what I'm doing. Now my question to you is, can you visually see that U is now in the middle of these 2 points? Do we agree with that? Because again, I went what? Left 2. So if I went left 2, if this was negative 2, to stay in the middle, I have to go what? Left another 2. You agree?
Yeah.
And up 1 and up 1. I think that's pretty easy, right? You guys okay with that? Anybody want me to do any further? Yeah, I'm agreeing. That's easy. So if M is the midpoint, what's true here? Say it.
Y equals 3.
Well, I want the equation.
9y minus 4 equals 6y.
Not 9y minus 4 equals 6y plus 5. And of course, guys, I really mean this. Everybody should just look at that and say that's y equals 3. There's no work involved. None whatsoever. Do you agree? Everybody should be able to do the mental math on that. Y equals 3. Any issues? I agree. Simple. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on with 31. A giant slingshot is formed with ends held at point A and C. Barbara stretched it back and is holding it at point B. Donnie Daredevil stands at the midpoint of the line segment AC. On which part of the angle formed by the slingshot does Donnie lie? Wow. I don't have any idea what they're just saying. All right, so here we go. A giant slingshot. Does everybody know what a slingshot is, right?
Yeah.
That's something you pull back. It makes a triangle almost, right? So the giant slingshot is formed with ends held at point A and C. So what I did was, I'm thinking this is A and this is point C. Do I agree? So here is my, I guess we could even call it like a rubber band, right? So that's your rubber band. Now, Barb has stretched it back and is holding it at point B. So we're going to take this, we're going to stretch it all the way back. And now this is point B. Donnie Daredevil stands at the midpoint of line segment AC. So he's probably standing right here at the midpoint, right? On which part of the angle formed by the slingshot does Donnie lie? On what part of the slingshot? Do they have any idea? On which part of the angle?
Middle point of line is C.
Midpoint
Midpoint C.
Say it again.
Bisector.
What type of bisector?
Angle bisector.
Yeah, on the angle bisector. Good. So right. So this right here, if, all right, she lies actually on the angle bisector. All right. Whoop-de-doo. That was kind of a, I agree. That was kind of a dumb question. All right. Just put angle bisector. Yes. I agree.
Yes.
Done. It's done. All right. Here we go. All right. Now, name the 5 planes. We can all do that. How do you name the planes with what? 3 non-collinear points. All right. So again, this, the front wall, we could just call DCE, right? the back wall, we could use any 3 of the 4 points. Does everybody agree? In other words, this wall right here. Right?
Oh.
Then this wall in the back. And then what? This one on the bottom. Does everybody agree with that?
And then what about the one that like slants over the top?
Did I not do that one?
There's only 4.
See, that's why I said I only see 4. Besides plane what?
P.
P, which is also plane
That's
what?
I used F, E,
Oh.
D.
Yeah.
I thought that like it would be A, B, C.
But isn't actually something
top of it?
Could you use
A, hold on a minute. I'm listening to him. I'm listening to him. What?
Like would A, B, C be your plane?
A, D, C is a plane. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or
All right. So
or
again, let's take a look at this just to make sure you're hearing me. This is a plane. That wall right there. Correct?
Yes.
Then I have the back wall. That's a plane. Everybody agree? And then I have what? The bottom. Oh, there it is. There's 5. There's 3. And then the front wall right here. I don't know why I didn't see that. The front wall here, right, is 4. And then the what? And then the back wall. Yeah, that's it. Now keep in mind, plane P is the same as plane ADE. Right? Yeah, it's the same plane because remember, plane extends indefinitely. All right? Name a line that is coplanar with AD and AB. So I got to highlight it because I can't see very good. So I'm going to draw AD, and I'm going to draw AB. Name a line that is coplanar with that. Tell me.
DC.
I'm agreeing. DC. What else could we say? Yeah, BC. Right. Anything on this plane is good enough. And you could actually even say AC if you wanted to. Or you could say DB if you wanted to. Right? They're just not drawn. All right. Now, I'm glad we're doing this one again. The midpoint of line segment AB is 1, 2. Point A is 3, negative 3. So let's just draw this out just to make sure you understood me. The midpoint of AB is 1, 2. So this point right here is 1, 2. And the coordinates of A is 3, comma, negative 3. So everybody should be able to pretty much quickly tell me what B is, right? So B would be what? Tell me.
Negative 1, 7.
I like it. Negative 1, 7. Anybody have a problem with that? Nobody? Negative 1, 7? Now, 35 is kind of interesting. Find 2 possible lengths of CD if CD and E are collinear. All right, so now we're going to do this. Now, the problem I have is, does it say what order they're in? I don't think it says what order they're in, right? So I think that's what the problem is. Could be CDE. So if CE is 15.8, and DE is 3.5, then CD could be what?
12.3.
Yes, that's one answer. And then the other one is?
19.
That's exactly right. 19.3. Because we would then just do what? Change, if I'm not mistaken, we could just change this, right? We could say CD is here and E is there. And that's what makes geometry particularly hard, is you have to think of all different possibilities. Does everybody agree with that now? Yes, ma'am.
I still don't understand that 19.3.
Because now if I say, well, wait a minute, I didn't put them in the right order still. Thank you, Charlotte. I meant to say CE is here, and then DE is here. Now can you see it? CE is 15.8, and DE is 3.5.
Oh.
See what I mean? I just didn't switch the order.
All I did was I added the two and I subtracted.
That's another way of doing it. All right. All right, let's take a look at 36. Find the length of RS if S is between R and T. All right, so here we go. Draw it out again. S is between R and T. The length of RS is 1/3 the length of RT. Do I know what RT is?
No.
So we're going to say RT is what? X, right? And then the length of RS is what? So that would be what? 1/3 X. Do you agree? And then it says that RS is also what? RS is 3x minus 3. I think we just go with that. I think we could just say from there, 3x minus 3 has to equal what? Yeah. Just 1/3 x, right? Do you agree with that? ST is, I think you could even do that too. I think you could just then say 1/3 x, is that what somebody else was trying to tell me? Plus 2x plus 6 equals x then. I think that could be something else also. I think there's two ways to solve that. Does everybody agree with that? If they tell you that RS is 1/3 of the total, right? And then they tell you that RX or RS is also 3x minus 3. I think it should be the same thing. Yeah, you could also do that.
3 plus 2x plus 6 equals 9x minus 9.
Yeah, because you multiply by.
3.
Yeah. So again, yes, you could also have done. Listen, you could have also said 3x minus 3 plus 2x plus 6 is equal to x, I believe. Right? Either one of those, I think, is okay. All right, is there anything else tougher on this worksheet? Does anybody else have anything? Oh, let's do 43 just to make sure. Jump down to 43. Let's see what you guys remember from algebra. So it says, find the measure of RST. So I'm trying to find this angle right here. Agreed? And then it says that ST bisects RSU. So what's true about these two angles? They're equal. So right now we could say x plus 2y minus 1 is equal to 6x minus 9. Do you agree with that? And then it says that SU bisects TSV. Wow. So they are all equal. Thank you very much. So they are all equal. So now we could say 6x minus 9 equals 2y plus 5. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so this requires some pretty good algebra skills, so let's see what you got. So let's look at this right here. Does everybody agree if I subtract 5, I get 2y equals 6x minus 14? Everybody okay with that? All I did was I subtract 5. I moved this over here with this minus 9. Do you agree 2y equals 6x minus 14?
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I can divide it through by 2. So everybody agree with that? So now I have y equals what? Yes, y equals 3x minus 7. Everybody agree? So now I need to get rid of this y up here, right? So I can just put what there? Yeah, so let's do that. So now I have x plus 2 times 3x minus 7 equals 6x minus 9, right? X plus 6x minus 14 equals 6x minus 9, right? Which is nice, the 6x's cancel. So did anybody else get x equals 5? Yes, sir.
Would you get x plus 2 in parentheses 3x minus 7?
I replaced from this equation right here. Good for you. See this equation right here? I replaced this y with 3x minus 7.
Oh, okay, I got it now. So
Right?
yeah.
Anybody else having trouble with x equals 5? Yes.
What happened to that negative 1 right there?
What happened to the negative 1?
Because x plus 2y minus 1. What'd you do?
Oh, did I leave that out? Thank you. You are brilliant. Right, it didn't take me long to make a mistake this year. Does everybody see that? I forgot the what? Negative 1, so that changes everything. Thank you. Good catch. All right, so now let's finish it up again. So this becomes x plus 6x minus 14 minus 1 equals 6x minus 9. So now instead of what? 5, it's just what? 6, right? X equals 6. All right, thank you. X equals 6. All right, now that x equals 6, what do I need to do? Find, yeah, I'm going to have to find y. So if x is 6, y is what? See this right here, right? So what's y? Somebody tell me. 11, thank you. So that's 11. So then what would that angle measure be there, guys? So what's this angle, guys? What's that angle measure? Somebody said it? 27? 25? 25? Because what's x? Plus, what's 2 times y?
42.
Minus 1?
27.
I was wrong and
Look at this bra. Look at this bra.
Yeah, I can't point any fingers. I made
Oh,
Harper, you get 3
Yes.
certified prostitutes for that.
Say it again.
You got $37.
Very good. Shh. Boys, this is what I'm talking about. Get off each other's backs. Hey, Colton, just come on. Stop. Face the front. You good now? All right.
How'd you get the y equals 11?
Okay, so I'm going to show you something right here. Look. Y equals 3x minus 7.
When you plug in the x.
Yeah. Good? Oh. All right, so it said look at 44, because we haven't talked about complementary and supplementary. Measure of angle 1. Find the measure of angle 1. If the measure of angle 1 is complementary to angle 2. Now look, this I tried to fix it, but I didn't do a good job. The measure of angle 1 is complementary to angle 2. The measure of angle 2 is supplementary to angle 3, and angle 3 is 126. So what is angle 2? Somebody tell me. Angle 2 would equal what? What's angle 2?
54.
54. Beautiful.
Oh, I got half of it.
Angle 2 is 54. So angle 1 would be what?
36.
Yes, angle 1 is 36. Oh my gosh.
Humongous brain.
You did. Yes, I did.
Guys, I'm not 7th grade. I kind of put up with it. I'm not listening to you guys on each other's throats about who's right and who's wrong with something. All right, we're not doing it. Hey, I'm just letting you guys know. We're not doing it. Just let someone be wrong. It's okay. All right, it really is okay. We're not keeping score. Now, is there anything else on here that anybody wants me to look at? Oh, we need to go down to the ERBs. Yeah, we're going down to ERB time. All right, here we go. Taking a look. Yes. I can try 45. Let's look at 45. So what does this mean? Yeah, they're perpendicular, right? So XW and XZ. So if I'm thinking about it, I would probably say this is X, this is Z, and this is W. So WXZ is a 90-degree angle. And Y is in the interior. So that would make Y like over here somewhere. Do you agree with that? And so now WXY is 6Y minus 3. And YXZ is 4Y plus 13. So now do you know the equation, right? Right. We would just say what? 10Y plus 10 equals 90. Everybody good with that? Yes. Because it's perpendicular, right? Remember that? That's what the perpendicular. No, it's okay. What?
What I did like 6y minus 3 equals 4y plus 3.
It's
Plus
possible. It's possible that they're equal, but do they have to be equal?
No.
No. You see what I could have done? It just says it's in the interior, so I could have done it like this, right? Now the angles are not equal, right? It just depends on how I draw it. It's just hard.
So you should add them.
Yeah, 7 equal to 90. What? Read. Come on.
At the end, would you minus 10 to the
Yeah. We can all solve that. I can solve that. All right, but I do want to talk about the ERB stuff. All right, so here we go. All right, specifically, come on now. I really want you thinking better. All right, so especially on this problem right here. All right, I want the perimeter of the figure, correct? In other words, they want this. Tell me if I'm right. This, this, this. That's what they're wanting. Everybody agree?
Mm-hmm.
Which just means they're all squares, correct?
Yes.
So this, so far, from here to here, is what? Come on, speak up. What is that? 3y. Plus, from here to here to here is what? 3 what? 3x. Plus, last one, all the way around is going to be what?
3x plus y.
Beautiful. You could just say 3 times x plus y over 2. So I agree with that. Now, this becomes 3y plus 3x plus 3 halves x plus 3 halves y. Does everybody agree with that? Common denominator is what? 2. So 3 becomes what? 3 is the same as how many halves? 6 halves. And this is also what? 6 halves. So if you add them together, you get what? Exactly. 9x plus 9y over 2. If you knew that, pat yourself on the back. That's really good. Really hard, actually. All right, very, very good. Good thinking question starting out. All right, dealing with fractions. All right, let's talk about number 2 real quick. If x is an integer and x plus 7 over 2 is an integer, which of the following must be true? Now, integers are just counting numbers, correct? No fractions. You can't say 1.5, right? So if x is an integer, does x have to be odd
Yes.
Yes, because an odd plus an odd is a what? And then you divide that by 2. So yes, it has to be odd. Does x have to be a multiple of 7? No, because a multiple of 7 could be what? Even. Does everybody agree with that? Multiples of 7 would be 7, 14, right? So we established that x must be odd. So it doesn't have to be a multiple of 7. Uh-oh. Is x plus 5 over 2 an integer?
Yes.
Yes.
Because x has to be odd.
Because x must be what?
Odd.
If x is odd, that means that has to be true also.
Wait, why is that?
In order for this to be an integer, x has to be odd. Right? You can say no if you want.
I don't understand.
Okay, so if I let x be 2, is x plus 7 over 2 an integer? No, because 9 divided by 2 is not an integer.
Okay, I see.
You with me now, right? All right, let's go. Come on, stay with me. I don't care if we're running out of time. When the bell rings, I'll dismiss you. All right, here we go on the next one. If the area of the triangle is 100, what is AC? What is AC? Somebody, 10, right? How did I know it was 10? Because okay, listen now. I'm sorry we didn't get quite done. That's a lot. All these distractions. Hey, I can't have the distraction. Tonight I put the book review to look at because our test is Wednesday. So tomorrow again, we're going to continue with the review.
Thank you, Mr. McGraw.
No.
Why do you say that? Why?
Mr. Stroud?